I am way too excited to talk about this game, so I'm not going to waste your time with too long of an intro. But what I will say is holy shit, we finally got another Doom game. 2016's Doom was great in my opinion, and so was Doom Eternal in 2020, but these opinions are coming from someone who isn't old enough to have played the original Doom games. So, if you disagree, just remember that I'm not a Doom expert like you. Anyway, Doom the Dark Ages. Oh my freaking f***. The Doomslayer running around in the goddamn Dark Ages, wearing hybrid knight armor and a f***ing fur cape, with a chainsaw shield. I am so down. So without further ado, let's just get straight into this masterpiece. Before the game opens, we get to read a nice little scroll of text about the Slayer himself. And I feel I must give the text some gravitas like it deserves. So here we go.
In the age of fire and ruin, when the legions of hell first set foot upon Argent Danur, another came, an outsider. His path to their world carved in blood, for the demons could not escape his wrath. The Night Sentinels, desperate and broken, saw in him a weapon. Their gods, ever watchful, saw something more. They bestowed upon him strength beyond mortal flesh, speed beyond thought, a gift now tethered to their will.
And now that I've read the monthly word count, the camera grows wings and takes flight across the sunny mountaintops of Kalim. But that beautiful view can't last too long. Remember, this is a Doom game. Floating pentagram? Check. Oh yeah, we're playing Doom alright. As you can see, the village of Kalim is under siege by demons, and unfortunately the Sentinels can't save everyone. The Sentinels are basically the king's warriors, and yes, there's a king. All of a sudden, this Koenig looking geezer arrives on screen, and next to her is a very well-fed hell priest.
Sandwich! You have wasted our time once again.
Luckily for us, the player, the all-powerful hell priest and demon don't notice the camera all up in their business as she mentions that they're looking for the heart of Argent, so at least we have some idea of what they're up to. However, these guys are very aware that their current siege won't last forever.
Soon, the humans will summon him.
It's at this point we get to see the king.
That is a big dude.
He's on comms to one of his Night Sentinels who tells him that they've managed to find the demon's entry point, but there's been 3 more portals that have opened from inside the village. Now, I'm no expert, but that doesn't sound good. Sire, I don't want to overrule your orders, but this might be a good time to send in the Slayer. This is what I love so much about this game. The mashup of the Dark Ages with this technology that is still way more advanced to anything that we currently have in the real world is such a sight to behold. We're then introduced to this woman, Commander Thera. She jumps on comms and asks for the new bishop, because the king's armoured division is still an hour away, and there's no time for any extra backup to arrive. Therefore,
Bishop Creed, we need him.
oh, the Slayer is fucking arriving, baby, don't you worry. Panning up to the skybox, we can see one of the coolest looking ships ever built, the Creed Maker's ship. You remember the Makers quite well if you've played Doom Eternal, but if not, or if you need a refresher, the Makers are an ancient race that come from the realm of Urdak, which is a hub of transcendent technology, thought to be a living being made up of the souls of past Makers. The Makers consider themselves to be gods, far beyond the lives of other species. They're pompous assholes who think that they're better than every living thing in the universe. But with that explanation out of the way, everyone say hello to the Creed Maker. He is the newly appointed bishop of the ministry, and he holds the responsibility of overseeing the steady flow of Sentinel energy to Urdak. Okay, and now with that explanation out of the way, he orders Thera to make sure that the temple is guarded, but she says, how about fuck you? If the village is destroyed, everything falls, including the Sentinel energy reserves. And Creed really does not like the sound of that, so without further ado,
Launch the Slayer.
Total purification targeted for the village of Kalim.
rip and tear.
What's up, bitch? Bam! And here we are, playing Doom the Dark Ages. It's finally out. It finally exists. The best mashup of artistic themes ever created. Now, you might be wondering why in that cutscene, the Slayer had yellow eyes and the little core thingy on his chest. Well, this is because the douchebag makers have somehow managed to take control of the Slayer. Yep, you heard that right. They control him. He is their weapon. For now. But let's rewind quickly because I missed a crucial mechanic. The shield blocking. In this entry to the series, the Slayer has a shield instead of his chainsaw. And honestly, I don't miss the chainsaw if we get this invulnerable dinner plate instead. But if you block too many attacks with your shield at once, it will be disabled and have to recharge. Which, believe me when I tell you, can absolutely mean a very quick death. Oh baby, this skill is so nice. This allows you to target an enemy and absolutely shoot over to them like a speeding bullet. Naturally, you bash them, but when you make contact, you release a shockwave that obliterates fodder enemies around your target. You can also use this skill to break through walls marked with a shield sigil, and this will make for some really fun secret areas in the game. But right after bashing through this one, you are greeted with a new enemy, the Imp Stalker. These guys aren't too bad though, and you'll quickly dispatch it before the game teaches you how to execute. The execution does replace the awesome glory kills from Eternal, which honestly I really do miss. Although, once you get to a point in Dark Ages where you really understand the game, the executions do help the flow of combat, so I can get behind replacing the glory kills. After another fight, we reach the sentinels guarding the innocent. King Novik tells everyone to keep their distance from me, but what he doesn't know is how sweet the Slayer can really be. But we can't stay. We must venture forth into the Horde.
Confirmed. Weapon drop incoming in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, a little present for the Doomslayer. Oh my god, a new hand! Oh, you guys shouldn't have. This is the Power Gauntlet. Basically the Blood Punch from Doom Eternal. It has a wide range of attack and deals a damn good chunk of damage, as well as making the demon you punch drop ammo. You get 3 charges, which you can combo for extra damage. It will recharge passively, but will insta-charge if you find a pickup. Breaking through another wooden barricade, there is a life sigil waiting patiently for you. These life sigils are just extra lives like you'd get in old arcade games. You can hold 3 of them at a time, and they give you the choice of using it when you die. So, jumping down into a massive courtyard, you will encounter the first of many, many big fighting arenas. But you're the Doomslayer. These godless demons are nothing but blood on your shoe. And within a couple of minutes, they are no longer. Thera pipes up to tell the Slayer that the main gate is locked and he will need a key from the nearby church. So let's go fetch it.
Who are you? Ah. I see.
So as you have just seen, one of the new features for this series is parrying. In the Dark Ages, the Slayer can use his shield to return enemy fire back to them, given that the projectile is green. But let's use it on an enemy instead of a turret.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, yeah.
The next big encounter is with a pinky jockey. These guys can be a ball ache to defeat when they're part of a larger crowd, but a one-on-one is fairly straightforward. Just like any other enemy, parry its projectiles and shoot the fuck out of it until it... What you just saw was a glory strike. As soon as you daze a demon, you can hit him with a big old glory strike. This gives you health, and then will weaker bigger demons, disabling parts of their attack pattern. In this case, you mangled the rider of the pinky, which means you no longer have to worry about the red and green projectiles, just the big claws and teeth of the pinky. Hopping up into the church, you will find a gathering of cultists. So while channeling your inner space marine, we must take them out.
Heretics!
Ooh, piece of candy. And using this key, you can find your first of the best collectibles in the game. The motherfrickin' toys! These are easily the best collectibles in the game. There's loads of them, and every time I see one, all I can think about is how cool it would be to have a real life collection of them all. Oh hey, what's up dudes? Prepared for battle, are we? Oh mama, that is a deeply unsettling portal. But no matter, the Slayer isn't scared of anything, and I'm all up for a challenge. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker!
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Whoa, buddy. Perfect.
And directly after all that, there's a new enemy introduced, the Shield Soldier. At this point in the game, they are a huge pain in the ass. As far as you're concerned, you have to try and flank them to hit them from behind. But eventually you'll do it, and the portal will close. And now you just need to do that 3 more times. It's also just above this portal where you can find your first codex entry, another collectible of the game. These ones provide you with a really nice hand-drawn journal entry of weapons, places, characters, and all things in between. They're a really nice touch and quite fun to look at and read. After using a jump pad to cross a deadly drop, you will receive your second new weapon, the Shredder. I'm gonna say this about every weapon because it's true, but this thing is sick. It's a full auto weapon that fires fucking barbed spikes and can be used at long or close range. It's the medieval equivalent of a machine gun. And whilst I did spend loads of time on each and every level meticulously trying to find secrets and collectibles, I won't be putting them all in this video. However, if you would like to watch my playthrough series of the game, you can click the box in the top right. And with the Hellgates clear,
Tier 5 readings in the South Bay. Incoming.
A Titan has been summoned.
Excuse me?
yep, you heard that right, Nokaribi from the past. A goddamn Titan is here. But where is it, you're saying?
Oh my god.
But the Slayer has more direct matters to handle first. And now we can handle both the massive onslaught of demons on their way, and the Titan. After at least 1 million bullets have been fired, the Titan goes down.
All remaining enemy targets have been neutralized. They lied to us. And now he has a leash.
The Makers felt a weapon as powerful as the Slayer.
Should be guided.
And you agreed.
He's not one
Of us. They want assurances. And so did I.
What the fuck, Novik? So you're the one who's responsible for the Slayer being a slave to the Makers? The game then cuts to hell. A gang of miscreants are watching a blood hologram of the Slayer absolutely kicking ass. Yes, he is superpowered, but the Slayer is human. Just a dude running on pure hatred. The priest ribs this big ass demon, who apparently has great skincare by the way, about how he keeps listening to the witch despite the Slayer tearing through the ranks of Hell's army. This tall glass of blood is Prince Azrak. Not much is known about him, but what we do know is that he is currently in charge of the hordes of Hell, and he seems to be the only one who doesn't fear the Slayer. He could care less about his presence.
all the power of hell, cowering before one man.
Azrak says the time to strike is now. The Heart of Argent, which is this game's MacGuffin, will give him the power to conquer the Slayer and crush the Night Sentinels. The witch chimes in as soon as the others leave the room to tell Azrak that because the council fear the Slayer, his dominion over Hell will not be absolute. But before moving on to chapter 2, I want to briefly talk about the end screen of each mission. It's pretty good. I like it. It's simple enough, the sound design is quite calming, and it gives you a good break between each mission. It tells you how much of the chapter you completed. This includes all of the secrets, gold, and demon hearts. Chapter 2 takes place on a whole other planet, the planet of Hebeth, which is probably somewhere in the galaxy. Prince Azrak is trying to shit all over this Sentinel outpost. They're going after another energy relay, and this relay is the one that powers the transdimensional barrier that prevents the demons from opening portals to the planet.
It doesn't work. What you see now is a result of Sentinel civilians falling under the influence of demons and opening portals for them.
Well shit. The Creed Maker's assistant tries to explain the threat, but we cut away to the sound of heartbeats and a surface we can't quite see. Turns out this is the Slayer's heartbeat. It cuts back and forth between the Slayer and the surface, until eventually...
Slayer vitals increasing. Slayer, prepped for launch.
It's remarkable how he can survive the power surge.
Yes. We purify his mind and leave only his hatred for the demons.
But his resistance to the Teller's influence is increasing.
Oh shit, boy. The Slayer is breaking free. They can't contain him permanently. If you are unaware, this symbol is the mark of the Doomslayer, a symbol that warns demons of the Doomslayer's presence. For example, at some point in the timeline, the Doomslayer was entrapped in a sarcophagus, and this sarcophagus had the mark of the Doomslayer burned in as to warn demons never to open the box. Also, this seems like a good time to mention, this game takes place between Doom 64 and Doom 3. Doom 2016 was sort of a soft reboot, but Doom Eternal helps fill in some blanks and confirmed that the Doom guy is the same man from the OG Doom games. The lore in between Doom 64/3 and Doom 2016 was very blurry, so hopefully this game helps clear it up. If you want an extremely in-depth explanation for loads of things all Doom timeline related, then you will see a link in the description to a document made by an immensely determined user on Reddit named Monologue. Go show him some love. So now you have all that info in your brain, let's get down and dirty on Hebeth.
Launch the Slayer immediately.
Oh yeah, baby, and we get a new weapon? Oh my god, is that what I think it is? Holy goblins, that is so incredibly beautiful. And what's even better is that now you have the shield saw, you can throw that bitch like Captain America. If it hits bigger demons, then it'll just jam into them and stun them. But if you throw it into the pipsqueak demons, it'll just cut them in half like a burger bun. It's honestly one of the best features Doom has ever had. I've never felt so damn badass. You can also use the shield to break these humongous locks, and you can use it to shatter superheated metal armor and shields. It will also kill every other shield user in a chain reaction. So after many fights and climbing a wall like a monkey, the game introduces a new enemy, the Hell Knight. Now, in the early stages of meeting these guys you may struggle, because they're fast and vicious, but after you figure it out, they too will become nothing but blood on your shoe. But the benefit of these guys and all the other melee demons is that whenever you parry them, your melee recharges faster. But fast forwarding a tad, getting back inside the outpost will lead you to the first Sentinel Shrine. This is where you spend all of your hard-earned gold on various upgrades. Each weapon has a small upgrade tree, which will do things like causing your shotgun bullets to set fire to enemies, or increasing fire speed, so on and so forth. And in these upgrade trees, there will be 2 upgrades that you need either a ruby or a wraithstone to acquire. Those will join the fray a little later. After a short while of exploring and killing, you will find a blue keycard wrapped around a dead body. But he's not using it anymore, so we take it instead. And it's just after picking it up that we are introduced to the energy shield users, which if you know Doom, means that we're going to be getting a new weapon soon. And after a lengthy battle which includes the first instance of the Mancubus, Doom Guy says, "Ooh, what's this?" And we finally get our hands on the accelerator. This thing, and its eventual cousin, is such a fun weapon to use. It shoots incredibly fast, and it overloads energy shields, which, like the superheated ones, causes an explosion when overloaded that will kill all nearby shield users and damage anything else. After stepping outside, the camera is like, hey, you should go across this bridge. Okay, yeah, cool. But how about you let me watch these two skyscrapers fight to the death? For now, they're a bit boring though. So let's go kill some more demons.
Okay, he's dead. Thank God. Where did you come from? That was beautiful. Oh, that was sick.
Hey, are you guys doing anything interesting yet? Oh, I see. A simple no would have sufficed. You didn't have to go and take out the bridge I was supposed to use. Come on, man, get up and fight back. Teach this Titan who's boss. Ah, well, I mean, that's just poor performance, really. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna plunge myself into this massive drop. Oh, hey guys. I'm sorry, I don't mean to intrude, but I guess now that I'm here, you can all die by my hand. Ooh, pretty portal. Oh, you want me to launch down here? Alright. An armoured version of the Pinky Jockey will appear, and this is the introduction of leaders. Leaders in this game are enemies that will upgrade your health, armour or ammo capacity. Once you damage them enough, you can execute them like usual, but this time, you'll rip their heart out. Right, and now we get to the best part of this mission. Check this shit out. Oh yeah, baby, let's do this. Oh. Luckily for us though, the next mission does in fact continue from where the last one left off. You heard that right. We finally get to use the Atlan. They are so damn badass. I mean, just look at how you fight with these things. Honestly though, there's not a huge deal to talk about during this mission. You beat the ever-loving shit out of a load of titans until you bust through a flesh wall and King Novik appears in his absolutely gorgeous Atlan. Black and gold, huge cannons on the back. Oh my god, Novik, give it to me now! He doesn't give us the Pacific Rim suit, but he does call down the biggest fucking dual minigun you've ever seen. Now yes, it does look proportional when you hold it, but remember, this is proportional to the mech. So the gun alone is like the size of a small hotel. When you hit a perfect dodge holding this thing, it becomes supercharged, and you can absolutely tear apart titans with it. Okay, well, the power core is about to explode, so I reckon we should probably move it away from the outpost. Excuse me, can I just... I'm just gonna reach in here and...
That core will explode.
Shit. Well, I best skedaddle then. Get out of my way, you massive little bitches! Excuse me, coming through. Oh, a ginormous bottomless pit. That should work. Who the fuck are you? Well, you're in my way, so you're gonna have to go.
Oh, sit your ass down, boy.
You know what? You could be my extra layer of padding for this bomb.
The transdimensional barrier is offline. Demonic activity is surging. The Creed has requested an immediate report.
Return to the Sentinel barracks.
The game then cuts to an old man researching the Heart of Argent. He says to an unseen figure that he has done what he's been asked of. The camera then pans to a huge Azrak who asks about the heart. The old man tells him it's sealed in a chamber that he cannot open. Azrak disappears and we fade to black. So yeah, turns out Azrak really has infiltrated us and corrupted the minds of our allies. This chapter opens with a lovely wide shot of a massive sentinel tower next to a massive decaying corpse of a titan. Hell yeah brother, that's metal. Panning downwards, we see both the Night Sentinels and Maker drones coexisting, and eventually the Slayer appears in frame. Quite the defense if I do say so myself. Going inside however, a Sentinel soldier says that they've received a distress signal, but has been unable to contact the sender. That sender is the old man that we just saw at the end of the previous chapter. He says some words that could be taken in any which way really. He says,
"I sealed it from him, but it is an artifact of immense power. Forgive me."
And then he gets raided by Sentinel soldiers and presumably killed for being a traitor. I'm assuming the old man's words meant that he sealed the Heart of Argent from Azrak, but this could also mean that he sealed it from him, meaning the Slayer, or the King. Who really knows? Maybe I'm just thinking about it too much. Or maybe not enough. The soldier on the computer pulls up a hologram of the Heart of Argent, meaning we finally get to see what it looks like.
The Heart of Argent, discovered in AR-722, an artifact said to contain the soul of the last wraith. Powers and origin unknown.
Boom! A big explosion goes off, so I guess the learning session is over. Oh yeah baby, I am ready and pumped up to fight, let's go. Ooh, is this for me? This is the Skull Crusher Pulverizer. It grinds up skulls and spits the bone chunks out in a wide range. It's so cool, man. The ammo for this thing is the skulls of dead demons. How can you not love that? I will say though, I didn't use it much during my playthrough. Yes, it's awesome, but I much prefer just to focus on one or a couple enemies when I fight. So after a lot more fights and some collectible hunting, I found myself entering the barracks of the hangar, and Thera lets us know that there's a path in the nearby tombs that we have to take. But before leaving, the game says, hey, look over here, and presents you with your first ruby. Rubies, like I mentioned briefly before, are for specific upgrades in a weapon skill tree. And with that, we jump down into the tombs, and as soon as the ground appears at our feet, another weapon is available for the Slayer to take, the Impaler. Now this thing, holy shit, this thing is great. I've used this probably the most during my playthrough. Boiled down, it's a sniper rifle with less range, and it does a shit ton of damage, especially when you hit a headshot. Not only that, but when you upgrade the Impaler, it becomes supercharged whenever you hit an enemy with a shield throw or a shield charge. And when that happens, you one-hit a lot of the medium-sized enemies with a headshot, and it only takes a couple hits to kill the bigger enemies. But for now, let's focus on getting out of the tombs. Thera calls again to tell us the attack of the barracks has been a diversion, and her father will need help. She then utters the best sentence I've ever heard in my life.
Ensign, mobilize the Slayer's dragon.
Mobilize the Slayer's fucking dragon. Those are the most badass words in all of Doom. The Slayer has a dragon? Like, a specific dragon? That's so awesome. I don't want to keep you waiting, but there's only one thing in the way of the dragon. A cybernetic 15-foot tall spider Yautja. Well, this will be fun. It's also a champion enemy, which are enemies with gold armor. This armor takes less damage from your weapons, but parrying their attacks builds up a stun. And once that happens, you can deal massive damage. So with that information now learned,
oh yeah, die bitch. Oh yeah.
And with that, we get to go through the big metal doors and see a hugely impressive aviary standing tall before us. Chapter 5 opens inside the atrium. Built inside the skeleton of a dead titan? Ancient god? It's definitely not a regular titan. This skeleton makes even the icon of sin look like an action figure. We get to see soldiers take off on their dragons, but theirs is nothing in comparison to the Slayer's own personal dragon. He picks up a torch and uses it to light a ring of fire. Fuck yes, ID! Thank the almighty developers for letting this be a part of the game. Of course the Slayer would have the biggest dragon, and it's cybernetic, and it has chain guns. This really is the time to be a gamer. Future generations aren't even going to know what Doom is, and I feel sorry for them having to miss out on this masterpiece franchise.
Thrusters online.
The dragon sections are also really cool. I've seen people say that the dragon and the Atlan sections aren't great, but I think those people don't know how to have fun. Yes, both sections are objectively repetitive, but who cares about that when the sections aren't too long, look amazing, feel responsive, and are badass as fuck. Anyway, when using the dragon, you have a flight mode and an assault mode. The flight mode is your basic transport to get from place to place. You can also use the guns when you're boosting, which you will use when chasing down demon ships. The other mode is assault mode. This locks onto your target and keeps you in a semi-locked position to shoot said target. From here, you can use the spacebar to dodge in all directions, and most projectiles charge in a way that tells you which way you're going to need to dodge before they fire. And a perfect dodge grants you supercharged projectiles for a short period. In the case of this Titan, however, like the others, they just shoot basic projectiles at you. So that doesn't matter which way you dodge, and once you've damaged them enough, let's get our ass in gear. To the holy city we go.
Assault mode engaged.
And here we are, the holy city of Aratum. Now, like I said, there is a repetitive nature to these types of missions, so I will give you a rundown rather than an in-depth walkthrough. Destroy the cannons on a demon warship, then destroy the massive eye atop the ship will then go down, land on the ship, run through the ship, killing every enemy you see, jump down to the bottom level where the core for the ship is, fight and kill the mini-boss, shield bash the core of the ship, and fall back onto your handsome pet dragon. Do this 3 more times and you'll be allowed to fly up some maintenance shaft looking thing. But before I get to that, there were 2 things I missed talking about during the time destroying the ships. First off, the final ship you destroy allows you to land in a sentinel ship, which then leads to a new weapon, the Cycler. All this gun does is make the accelerator obsolete. I agree with what a lot of people have said about this thing. Why is there 2 energy based weapons in this game? I know they wanted to make 2 weapon types for each weapon slot, but whatever. All the Cycler does is shoot the same type of projectiles, just a little slower. But it does a bit more damage as far as I can tell, so why would I ever use the accelerator again after this? But did you think that was the only weapon in this mission? Absolutely not. Much earlier in the mission, you receive the Doom weapon. The one that everyone knows. The Super Shotgun. Oh yeah baby, finally. We all love the Super Shotgun. Massive damage, slick design, simple but effective double barrel, beautiful reload animation, all the things you want. Right, so now I've gotten those 2 things out of the way, let's fast forward back to where I left off. After flying through the maintenance shaft, and back towards the main part of the city, we land, fight a shit ton more demons, and walk up the stairs towards the heart of Argent.
Oh, look who's here. Hello, Baldy. Oh, and the old hag is here too. This'll be fun. Right, so you're just going to throw up a force field instead of fighting me. I thought your whole thing was that hell shouldn't be afraid of the Slayer. That's fine, I'll just wipe out all these demons behind me then.
But we don't fight, we stay in cutscene. Azrak's done it. He's found the heart, but the king shall not let that happen, and he orders his men to ignite the charges. Honestly, that was a real damn good plan. You absolutely couldn't have fought Azrak alone, and as sad as I am to see that masterpiece of architecture fall, it was all worth it if it means Azrak doesn't have his hands on the heart. Back in a Sentinel stronghold, all their ships are being refueled, and their cruisers are being loaded. Why did I mention this? I don't know, I just felt like it. Thera then walks up, and Novik, who is her father by the way, shows concern that she is still here. Everyone else is evacuating. He also mentions a new vault is being built to contain the Heart of Argent, which I hope is stronger than the last, but she raises a really good point.
Then let the Slayer guard it.
But Novik says, nah, I don't like that guy. This is our heritage, not the Maker's. He then sends comms to Vaylin, who, again, I haven't mentioned yet, was in Doom Eternal, and was also mentioned all the way back in Doom 2016. Longtime fans of the games and lore nerds already know Vaylin's story, but for all of you that don't, I'll give you a rundown. This could potentially be spoilers for the future games, and technically a spoiler for this game, but we haven't seen said spoiler on screen yet. So, that's your final warning. Skip to this timecode to move past the spoilers. Vaylin, also known as the Betrayer, appearing in person in Doom Eternal, and first mentioned in Doom 2016, was, as you know, a commander for the Night Sentinels. But after his son perished in battle, he went understandably mad and was haunted by visions of his son. In his deep desperation, Vaylin made a deal with a hell priest named Grav to resurrect his son in exchange for giving the priest access to the Wraiths. Wraiths are a type of demon that have abilities people deem magical, and torturing them is part of the process to create Argent energy. But anyway, the Hell Priest siphoned the Wraith's power in order to ubercharge Hell's legions and overwhelm Argent Danur, dooming the kingdom. Vaylin's Night Sentinels fought and died to protect the kingdom, and Vaylin never got his son back. Instead, the Hell Priest Grav resurrected Vaylin's son in the form of the Icon of Sin, which is a huge demon monster that you fight and kill in Doom Eternal, using a blade given to the Slayer by Vaylin in order to kill his son's heart, and therefore ending the life of both of his son for the second time and the Icon of Sin. There's much more, but I reckon I'll dive into that when the time comes for me to cover Doom Eternal. But back to the game I'm actually playing. Vaylin questions whether the Slayer survived the explosion back at the holy city of Aratum, but Vaylin doesn't know how unkillable the Slayer is just yet. Cutting to the Maker's ship, a screen shows how close the demon threat is getting. The freak robots debate whether or not to launch the Slayer, because if they don't, the Sentinels will be overrun. But while they're debating, the Slayer focuses in on the screen. He can see how close the demonic threat is to the evacuating and unprepared Sentinels, which angers him so much that he breaks through his mind control once again. And for the first time in the game, we get to see the Slayer's real enraged eyes. The second he moves even an inch, all the alarms are raised, which I'm sure I don't have to tell you, proves how powerful he is, and how much the Makers fear him. And despite cranking the power to the max, the Slayer overpowers their control still.
Oh, you're fucked now.
The Slayer then attempts to rip out his heart device controller thing, which causes all the energy on the ship to surge and short circuit. So the Creedmaker orders the drones to just disable the device before they all die, which they do, meaning the Slayer has full control. He is unbound by the Maker's mind control.
It would appear that the Slayer no longer wishes to be detained here.
Shield power down to
Should we terminate his life functions?
And destroy the Conmaker's prized possession.
34.
So long as he has that tether on him.
33.
We can still have a hand in his fate.
32.
More pressing though is the fleet of warships approaching the Sentinel outpost. Even Azrak is here. Another soldier drains his stamina bar to get to King Novik. The Creedmaker is urgently trying to call him, presumably about the Slayer breaking free. But let's find out.
A large horde is heading toward your position. We are launching the Slayer now. Please send forces immediately to ensure our safety.
They are so selfish, holy shit. Yeah, let us throw every soldier to protect you. Azrak is totally coming after you instead of an extremely powerful artifact hung around the king's neck. Also, you can see the Slayer being launched in the background of this shot, and I just thought that was cool. Fortunately for the city though, they do have massive shields, but those shields aren't gonna last for long, so we should maybe send out an immensely powerful being. Oh shit, it's him!
Unchained and ready to bathe in demon blood.
Hold on, there's a tutorial I have to read. So basically, these blue cogs can be hit with your shield throw to power gates and such other things. We get a pretty cool piece of story building here, and it's mentioned that the Creed's ship hasn't exited the war zone. But that's because Argent energy production is down because of the war, and this is his district, and the Khanmaker would have him executed if he left. The Khanmaker, by the way, is pretty much God. She is the leader of Urdak, which in this universe is many cultures' interpretation of heaven. Anyway, new weapon time. Yes! Finally! The goddamn flail! I've been wanting to use this thing since I saw the collector's edition statue. This thing rocks. What makes it stand out over the base melee is that it does more damage to armor, superheating it in one swing, ready for you to shatter with the shield. But it also generates a blast around the area of impact that will kill or damage nearby enemies. It does recharge slower, but parrying a melee attack grants you a melee charge. This is also the part of the game where arachnotrons are introduced, a very common enemy in Doom Eternal where they first appeared. And tanks are introduced in this level as well. You can shoot them, but I always just parry their shots because that's so much cooler. Morale encounters are also introduced here. These are a pretty fun challenge. Basically, there's a leader of this encounter who is invincible until you kill enough lesser demons. Once you've done that, you get to fight and kill the leader. These bastards are reintroduced as well. Fuck these things, they're awful. Always have been. And there's big ones? Great. So after about an hour of fighting and finding collectibles, you'll find yourself in a dungeon, which contains one of the sickest designed weapons ever, the Chain Shot. A mystical heavy hitting weapon that just rocks enemies shit. A fully charged shot from one of these deals huge damage and just shatters shields and armor. It's so fun. And with that, all the portals are shut and I can finally move on. After bashing through a drainage pipe, the game cuts to a massive portal opening just below the main gate. Well, shit. Rightio, part 2 of the longest mission in the game. Part 1 alone took me more than an hour to complete, so fingers crossed this is much shorter because I'm already 15 pages into this script and this is only chapter 7 of 22. I hope you all like very long Doom videos. Well, this 5 million BPM turret might help speed things up.
Die! You're gonna regret coming here and facing the Slayer!
Oh, goodness, what a rush. Of course, from this point on, there's a multitude of enemies to kill. including a new one called the Revenant. Grim Reaper type enemies who will really piss you off in the later stages. They fly and shoot armies worth of projectiles at you. And of course, there's always secrets to find. And during this section of exploration, King Novik calls Thera to let her know that the army is coming for the heart. I mean, yeah, no shit. But he says he's going to draw them away from the lifeboats, a self-sacrifice to save the people evacuating. She tells him not to go alone, but he turns off his comms, so RIP Novik, I guess. Ooh, a pile of gold. Motherfucker, I've been tricked by the gold again. This one better not be booby-trapped. Yoink! Alright, time to find the king. I wonder if any of these chaps know where he is. None of them knew where the king was. I'm coming to save you, Novik, don't worry.
No more tricks, old king.
I'll be there in just a sec, mate. There's a big door in the way. Oh, Azrak.
Hello, mate. Now, you've caused some major problems. Are you ready for your spanking? Oh, motherfucker! You! I don't mind rescheduling Azrak's spanking to kill a frail thing like you. Prepare your skull! Whoa, shit!
Holy mother of God, what an insanely swag-funkin' way to end a chapter. Easily one of, if not the best cutscenes in the game. The silent protagonist finally speaks. Chapter 8 opens with some ships flying back to the floating island from Pandora. A couple soldiers escort Thera whilst talking about the tether in the Slayer's chest. They say it's impossible to remove without killing him, so at least for now, it'll have to stay in. Whoa, whoa buddy, don't touch that, did you not hear what I just said? Thera explains the plot of the game to the Slayer. Azrak wants the Heart of Argent. The Heart of Argent is this all-powerful artifact that would give someone the power of God. Blah blah blah. Wait, what? The heart gives whoever wields it the power of a god? She continues to say that the heart isn't complete. It has two parts, and the second part is a power source, but no one knows where that is. Which confused me a little bit, but what we've seen of the heart, the gross biomechanical shell, is just that, the shell, the box.
If he ever gets control of it, that much power in Hell's hands, none of us would survive.
And with such a powerful enemy on the horizon, the Slayer is itching to get to work. But before he leaves, he makes sure to acknowledge everything Thera has said. And this is why I love the new trilogy of Doom games. They've given the Slayer so much personality. Right, so let's go.
I ask only to be heard.
Contact the ministry.
You are stranded in this realm.
There is no one left to trust.
That is why you allow me to speak. Help us.
Okay, that was extremely ominous. It's time to cut through the forest to the forge then. The forest spits out a new enemy type, and they suck so bad. The Whiplash. Previously seen in Doom Eternal, the Whiplash is a snake-like demon that melees you, uses projectiles, slithers quickly across the floor, and for some reason has way too much health. These things are a great annoyance to kill. Also worth mentioning are these raised wooden platforms. They're quite a nice obstacle that keeps the pace moving. Usually adorned with explosive barrels, any enemy that spawns up here is usually weak enough to either be killed or stunned by these barrels, and can serve as pretty decent assurance for a nice chunk of health if you need it. Yes, the small hordes of infinite zombies that each combat encounter spits out does this as well, but of course, killing the bigger demons means even more health. And I would like to warn you of this mission, because the forest is home to so many of the invisible stalkers. In this encounter alone, you will be in an almost constant fight with at least one of these stalkers at any given time. I can't believe I forgot to mention, but each mission has challenges. These can range from anything really. Kills with specific weapons, or skills, or finding secrets, whatever. But each challenge has a reward. Again, which can be really anything. Gold, rubies, weapon skins and whatnot. And that's all I have to say about that. After another fight, in which we steal the heart of a pinky, we hop on another turret and shoot a big blue energy arrow into the wall blocking our path. And as the Slayer is strolling through the woods, Thera explains that this ancient mining site was created to harvest the raw materials of the ancestral beast, the absolutely giant mofo you see up ahead now. We don't exactly know what this creature was, we just know that it was an ancestral. Currently, all we have to compare it to is Malagog. Malagog was introduced in Doom Eternal, and its role was to guard the life spheres of the Father and the Dark Lord. He would raise a platform for anyone who could pass all 3 trials, which would allow them to access said life spheres. The Father is actually the most god-like character, supposedly responsible for all of creation, including Urdak and the Makers. And the Dark Lord is the supreme ruler of Hell, and refers to any entity which claims dominion over it. Anywho, there's another big fight before we can go into the mines. But after beating the Horde, this intimidating Minotaur looking geezer is all like,
"If you want to get to the mines, you're gonna have to come through me."
Agadons, which these guys are quite fun to fight. They have a more complex moveset than most other enemies, frequent melee attacks, the sick-ass sword and shield, an energy force field if you stray too far away from them, and burning projectile energy shield things as well. But after defeating the Hunter, you will be allowed access to the mine. As you can imagine, this chapter opens inside the mines of the Ancestral Forge, with some cannon fodder to slay right as you load in. However, because of the overpowering demon threat, the mine and forge is currently powered down, so it's our job to power it back up. And how do we do that, you may be wondering? Well, I will tell you just after I get these upgrades, and kill these bumlickers. Okay, so, getting back on topic, how do you recharge an ancient monster heart in order to repower the mine inside of its skeleton? You just turn it back on, of course, and there's 3 of these levers, so... And there's all 3 pulled. The heart has been primed, therefore, we are free to fight another Agadon Hunter. Wapam, bitch! Open says me.
Oh my god.
Alright, here we go. I can't wait to see the forge. Oh, hello. And now it's time to enter the forge. Overlooking the main hall, we can see the tip of the sword that has been plunged into the ancient titan. The Slayer and Thera make their way down via a high-tech elevator, where she says they won't have much time. She says the Ancestrals never really die, and that their heart endures. That's what they use to harvest the energy. And without hesitation, the Slayer puts his shield atop the forging podium, and Thera reveals that she does in fact have hands. She starts chanting in what sounds like Na'vi dialect, and it turns out that her hands are actually magical. Well, she is magical, but I can't not mention her hands because look how cool that shit is.
Holy shit, Thera, I didn't know you were moving like that. Yo, are you good?
They're here, falling back. We'll meet you at the exit.
Perfect timing. Let's see what this baby can do.
Oh, fuck yeah, baby, shield runes. These are awesome. They give you an extra reason to parry projectiles. Not that you needed another one, but now when you parry a projectile, the shield will activate another skill. In this first instance, it's the ground fissure. As you can see explained here, the ground fissure will create a linear, damaging ground attack that will also interrupt enemies. As far as beginning skills go, that's pretty damn good. So let's practice, shall we? And there you have it, shield runes. Right then, let's get this leader out of the way. Okay, chapter 10, just below halfway through the game. Well, it seems fitting, so hell yeah!
Now it is I who cometh through the portal into your world. Prepare thine ass, demon scum.
The game cuts to inside Azrak's admittedly dope castle, and we can see that the Creed Maker is officially working with the Prince of Hell, offering to give Azrak the location of Thera. Just you wait till I get my hands on you, you gelatinous piece of cauliflower looking shit bucket.
No harm must come to her. She is the heart of Argent.
Why didn't she use her sorcery against us?
The true scope of that human's power is unknown to her.
So Thera has frickin' god level power? Hell yeah, dude. The witch tells Azrak that the ceremony must take place on her world, and now that the heart of Argent has been found, Azrak must give to her what he promised, and return her god. But we'll find out exactly what that entails later. Azrak closes the gate to his castle, but if you think that that'll stop the Doomslayer, you've got another thing coming. That thing probably being the barrel of his shotgun. Thera hops on comms to tell us to look out for damaged Atlans. The humans tried attacking once before, but couldn't get through Azrak's fortress. I also would like to take a moment to say wow, and also holy wow, because the design for hell in this game is so good. I mean, the design for everything in this game and previous Doom games have been so good, but man, ID really know how to make hell look like hell. This is the first time armoured Hell Knights are introduced to the game. Honestly, they rule. They look badass, they have a badass moveset, and fighting them feels like a good 1v1 battle. They have all the moves regular Hell Knights have, but also include more melee swings, this time with a war axe, which they can also throw at you. But they also look epic when you superheat their armour. I love them. This mission also gifts you the lovely rocket launcher. Very self-explanatory, it launches rockets. As you can guess, those rockets deal pretty heavy damage, especially on a direct hit, but be careful when using it, because you can damage yourself with the explosions. Whoa, Nelly! Well, we found an Atlan. The Slayer's suit also informs him of 2 hell cannons which we must destroy.
So let's go.
Here's number 1. Whoa, I got flashbanged. And here's number 2. Now we got to rip the core out of one Atlan, store it in our ass, and bound into Atlan number 2. Officially halfway through the game, we pick up directly where the last chapter left off. Back in an Atlan, slightly dusty and crusty, but I suppose spending an unknown amount of time in hell will do that. And yes, this is another Atlan section, which you know everything about by this point, so let's give the footage a little push. Perfect, and the Slayer gave himself a nice little bridge to walk across. But before doing that, turn around, because there's a secret right behind you. Ooh, green ooze pedestal. In my opinion, this is the best one. The Holy Swarm. This one spawns angelic blades which hunt down and stab targets. The reason I favour this one is because it reminds me of that power in Infamous Second Son which does the same thing. However, I didn't equip it because I thought to myself the upgraded first rune would be better. What an idiot. Eventually you'll get to the bridge, and destroying both locks on the bridge cogs will make that mofo come crashing down. But moving further into the castle causes Azrak to flee because he's a little bitch. He won't even flee in person, he has to do it over hologram. Then he sends in a bunch of goons to try and take us down. Really, Azrak? You've seen me slaughter countless demons across multiple settlements without so much as breaking a sweat. And your plan is to just throw a few more at me?
I'm coming for you, Azrak, and I won't stop until I'm holding your head in my hands.
Back at Sentinel Command, we get to see the engineers hard at work, making Atlan related bits and bobs. Doom once again hitting it out of the park with world building and level design. But as soon as we leave the hallway, the door locks behind us.
What the fuck, guys? We're on the same side. And you know I'll bash the door down if I really need to.
Access denied.
Right. Well, in that case, I hope you guys get invaded by demons for this abhorrent customer service.
Attack warning red.
Serves you right. I guess I'll just scramble through the vents. Whee! New weapon alert! The Ravager is the better version of the skull-spitting weapon. It has a smaller spread, and the fire rate increases over time. This does make you slower, but one of the upgrades negates that, so you can't really be mad about it. Let's go, piss keycard acquired, and another shield rune. This one's also pretty cool, the auto turret. Once a controllable feature in Doom Eternal, now forced behind a parry wall. When you parry with this rune equipped, the Slayer's shoulder-mounted turret shoots the closest enemy to where you're aiming. So after a lengthy physical encounter and finding a cool collectible, we open the yellow door and walk into the hangar. A bit of a filler mission. Obviously, this chapter picks up from where the previous left off, and we finally get to see our cutie patootie again. And we're back to the standard dragon gameplay. Dodge projectiles, blow up the Eye of Sauron, and move on. There's also weird ass tentacle targets as well. Oh, what the fuck is that? I'll worry about it later.
What's up, fuckers?
Tentacle number 2, get your ass out of here. Wapam! Another one bites the dust. Okay, let's get back into the fight. Shit, I killed myself. And that causes the final tentacle to retreat. And look, the portal actually closes. Oh, wow, okay. Thankfully, the camera generously shows us exactly where the portal leads. Some lanky ass tower in the middle of an endless ocean. Cool. Valen and Novik speak into our ear canals this time. Valen wonders why the Makers would hide this place from us, but Novik claims that they had no idea it was here. So, with that being said... Ooh, looky, a new enemy to slime. These guys are really cool. They're big cybernetic Komodo dragon guys, and honestly, they're kinda cute in a dangerous way. As for being an enemy, they're great. They shoot flaming bullet hell type projectiles, and use their double-bladed chainsaw. And they're pretty damn aggressive. But even though I think these guys are awesome, unfortunately the beast must be slain. Time to continue. Holy mother of God, what a sight to behold. The Makers give us some great information. Apparently there is a deity locked away in a tomb below the tower, and that deity will lead us to Thera's location. Hey buddy, do you want a treat? Oh, that's so cool. Who's a good boy? Let's get a move on then. This deity won't free itself. As we take off, Valen lets us know that the entire place was built to keep the mystery creature in stasis, meaning that it's an immensely powerful being, which probably means that it's not a good idea to release it. But hey ho, it'll be awesome when we do. This mission is relatively simple. Just land your dragon at a designated landing pad, have a friendly fisticuffs with some demons, walk up to this altar magic energy thing, and punch it, causing the seals on the outer layer of the tomb to disengage. You'll also get another rune during this mission, which I ended up using the most near the end of the game, the Heaven Splitter, which is the best name for anything ever. It converts Hell Surge projectiles into bolts of lightning, which aims for the enemy throwing the projectile, and spreads to enemies surrounding the target. This, of course, stuns the enemies it hits as well, which is pretty handy, as you can imagine. After destroying the final sculpture thing, the tomb is ready for breaking into. A soldier lets us know that the creature is awake, but unable to free itself.
Excessive coordinates is now required.
The Makers say there is a powerful weapon here that can release the creature. We're marking it on your map now.
Oh yeah, we all know what that is. But if you don't, then you're in for a real treat. After fighting through one more wave of enemies, the Slayer finally gets access to one of the most well-known weapon concepts in all of gaming. Now you may be thinking, what, a crossbow? Oh no, my friend. This is way better than just a crossbow. This is the Ballistic Force Crossbow, aka the BFC, also known as the BFG, meaning Big Fucking Gun. If by some miracle you've never heard of Doom, I am 90% positive you will have heard about the BFG. It's on the same level of iconicness as the Portal Gun. Every gamer worth their salt is aware of the BFG, and I'm sure it'll be another couple decades before the legend of the BFG even begins to fade away. Being the absolute most powerful weapon in every game it's featured in, the BFG, or BFC in this case, deals absolutely insane amounts of damage. I believe killing every single demon in one hit apart from the bosses. Although even it won't one-hit a boss, it'll do a shit ton of the work. And of course, we've previously seen the BFG in both Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, as well as pretty much any Doom game you get your hands on, with a special mention to the BFG 10,000 in Doom Eternal. That thing rules. But back to it. Taking an elevator up to the deity prison, we get to see a glimpse of the locked up creature. Of course, there's plenty more enemies to slaughter, but the groups aren't too bad. This part of the mission is about climbing the prison more than anything. By this point, you're probably very curious as to what the creature is. Well, here you go. There's a better look at the deity. But let's worry about freeing it before seeing it. Oh yes! You're telling me the Doomslayer just caught a ride on the back of fucking Cthulhu through a goddamn hell portal into a new realm? That is one of the best sentences I've ever been able to say. As long as he doesn't eat us, I bet we can be friends. The city of Ryul sits in the cosmic realm, and if you thought you'd seen cool visuals before, just you wait until we get into the thick cream of the cosmic realm. It's an eldritch, Lovecraftian inspired realm, which forms a partnership with Hell, and is where the witch comes from. This is a place where the laws of nature are warped and or ignored. Remember how earlier I mentioned the Wraiths? This is where they are told to have originated from, as well as the Chain Shot, BFC, and another weapon that we're going to find very soon. After being sucked through a water tunnel, the Slayer's suit says the Creed signal has been lost, but Thera's has been detected. Definitely not ominous at all, but we can only hope there's no signal because he's dead. Whoa, dude, this place is so epic. I also want to point out how awesome it is that the devs not only created such an incredible depiction of Lovecraftian art, but that they modelled one of the background creatures after that disgusting big fin squid. I hate those things, but I love their inclusion to the background of the cosmic realm. It really helps the unsettling feel of it all. There's also these cool launchpad ring things in the realm, which, as you can see, when hit, launch you in a very specific direction. I think they'd be a bit better if you could use them to go both ways, but you can't. This realm also introduces the Cosmic Baron. For starters, fuck these guys. They are so aggressive and almost never stop attacking. Yes, you can parry their melee swings and such, but there's so many of them. With this being said, I love their inclusion. They force you to focus on them, which means you either have to do exactly that and take them down ASAP, or it means having to cut your focus in half and share it between the Baron and literally everything else, which can lead to a pretty challenging but fun time. But wait, there's more! Cosmic Eyes. These are also awesome. I am a big fan of these types of puzzles. Cosmic Eyes are locks for certain doors, pathways, whatever. But you can only use your shield on the lock once you align the eye within the frame. It's just so damn cool. Reminds me of those shitty Riddler spray paint puzzles in the Arkham games. It's right around now that you begin hearing the witch in your head. At this current point, she mentions how the old one has returned, meaning the Cthulhu man we just released back into this world. Another new enemy alert, a motherfucking witch wizard mage stinky bitch. These are cool as well. They create a clone of themselves after creating a shield to protect the original, which means you have two enemies for the price of one. Both attack simultaneously, but you have to kill the clone before you get a chance to kill the OG. Also worth mentioning are these sick ass water tunnels. Playing into the broken laws of nature, these tunnels can be in the floor, the wall, the ceiling, and can spit you out from the floor, wall, or ceiling. Trippy. Time for a new weapon, the goddamn Dread Mace. We all stand the Dread Mace. All my homies love the Dread Mace. The heaviest hitting melee weapon in the game. It deals massive damage, only has a swing and will refill every single one of your weapon's ammo. Not only that, but parrying Hell Surge attacks will accelerate the recharge. This thing rocks, and it rocks hard. There's also these pieces of shit that are introduced, but they piss me off so much that they'll get a simple explanation. They're cacodemons, but they're like hybrid cacodemons, and they stink. I don't want to hear any excuses. Bring back my goofy meatball boys. And that is the final thing of note in this mission. After killing every single enemy, the portal gate opens. Therefore, you can jump through. Chapter 16 opens with the suit telling the Slayer that there are 2 cosmic relics nearby. These relics being needed to continue our journey. So let's get to Indiana Jonesing it. But first, I want to talk about this trippy puzzle. There's a deep puddle in the floor, but when swimming through it, it spits you out through the ceiling. And it's awesome. I love it. Also in this mission is this mind-bending room. I mean, just look at it. So with this one, you have to use your shield on a mechanism that turns the entire room and allow you to use the wrong direction platforms to reach a high up ledge. Come here, bitch, give me your heart. Ooh, slimy cosmic ball. Oh, and a shiny artifact. Alright, just one more to go. I'll take another heart while I'm here, sure. And there's artifact number 2. So with that, the Slayer can connect the 2 artifacts. Ugh, what the fuck is that? Oh no, I don't like that at all. Why do stone artifacts have avatar hair pubes? Okay, I'm not thinking about it anymore. Let's kill some stuff. Let's put this bad boy where it needs to go, huh? Oh, okay, yeah, just take it from me.
Yeah, put it in there. In that fucking disgusting pit of worm arms. Nice.
The Temple of Lonerith.
Okie dokie, let's get this shit done. We're almost there, people. Don't worry, I just gotta... Look at this big-ass thing. It's just set dressing, but holy schmoly, look at it. This implies the existence of Titan versions of the new hybrid cacodemons, and that just doesn't sound pleasant. And continuing the further amazing art direction, look how beautiful this purple ship graveyard is. I mean, fuck the giant eye and the squid creatures, but man, this is gorgeous. I'm gonna jump past the fights and such because you've seen enough of that. We head through the big green portal and end up in a bottomless, pitch black ocean. Great.
Oh, I don't like that.
I feel I must warn you of this area, because I spent probably 20 minutes searching it for secrets. But you can't actually find them until moving through the portal. So that's that. I just wanted to mention it to the small group of people watching this that haven't played the game yet. Speaking of, the place the portal takes you to is kinda epic. It's the same place as you just were, but a dark, drab version of it. Oh yeah, and there's a 200-foot tall tsunami circling the area. No biggie. Oh, another portal. Let's hope it's not another bottomless ocean. Right, that's the opposite of what I wanted. There's an amazing puzzle in this area. Another trippy, spooky one. I don't want to explain it because that will take away from the coolness of it. But you can watch my reaction to it instead. Alright. Huh? Oh, that's trippy as fuck. What am I missing? Oh, fuck. Okay. Why? Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh my god, they really are everywhere. Jesus Christ. Okay. I think that actually was... Yeah, there we go. Oh, shit! Oh my god. Okay, let me out, please. Thank you. Fuck you, dude. Moving on, the Slayer uses his Jedi powers on a rock, which causes both it and the platform to sink? But the suit says there's an unknown entity approaching, so I suppose we should prepare for that. Okay. Nope. No thank you. Piss off. Oh hey buddy, it's you. What's up, man? You look upset. Did I do something? Ugh, put away those mouth flaps. No, 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 no! God damn it, he really ate me. What a bastard! Of all the people you could have swallowed, I was the worst choice.
You have been ingested.
Nice one, mate. Thank you. Oh, is that a big boy's brain I see? Well, in that case, I'm gonna beat the shit out of it. Give me that heart! Whoop-pam! Oh yeah! How's that feel on your spherical brain, huh? I'm gonna do it again! Whoop-pam! One more time for good luck. Whoop-pam! Yeah, bitch! Oh, is your brain exposed? Oh, how sad. If you're not careful, someone might... Whoop-pam! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh my god! Oh,
You'd think the inside of a giant beast would be somewhat soft with all the flesh. Right, let's get out of here. Oh, hey guys, were you waiting just for me?
Also, I'm sorry, but was Cthulhu just standing around in the same spot after he ate me? How did I burst out of him in the exact same place I got eaten at? RIP to the big dog. It sucks I had to kill you, but it had to be done. The suit warns us of enemies surrounding Thera, and I don't know why I'm telling you this. It's not important. Oh Christ, are you telling me I have to climb all these? Kung Fu Panda style?
One eternity later.
God, my calves must have doubled in size by now. At least the view was worth it. I mean, it's pretty nice up here. Hey, Thera, what's up, girl dude? I'm glad to see you're still alive.
Oh, I have to go through you to get to her, is that it? I can do that. Easy peasy.
So, how does this thing work? Can I just pull you out, or is that gonna kill you? Why am I asking you? You're not even conscious. Okay, I'm just gonna grab you. Come on, let's get you out of there. What the fuck is that? Ah, you bitch! Oh, I don't love the way that makes me feel. Oh my god.
Her energy is too powerful. Even for you. The Sentinels know so little about themselves. She has the spirit of an ancient Sentinel god within her. A wraith who are descendants of this realm. Here, her energy becomes fully realized. And it can be harnessed. We should kill him. We'll need something more permanent. Etrigos, Zarath, Mazike.
Well, okay then. Azrak has the heart, the Slayer has been de-helmeted, and everyone is going to die. Pah! What am I saying? The Slayer can't be stopped.
And I won't stop until Azrak's head is in my hands.
Chapter 19 brings us back to the normal people realm. Valen and Novik are walking somewhere with purpose, and Valen tells the king that the Creed has come back alone, and they've heard nothing from the Slayer. So they call the Fatty. What do you have to say for yourself, Fatty?
The Slayer came and there was a struggle. We should leave now.
You little shit. A hell portal then opens up inside the damn Sentinel outpost, and
Everyone out, now.
god damn, he got that Egyptian drip with the grippers out. Generational swag right there. But getting back to the Slayer, he wakes up from his little nap and gets up, ready for the day ahead. Oh, never mind. He's trapped in a force field. Whoa, okay. So the old one was one in a species of Cthulhu Titans, and they have telepathic abilities? I love this game. Naturally, the Slayer tries to break free, but unfortunately, the chain shield just doesn't cut it. However, touching the Maker's device causes an energy burst that messes with the Titans, so... I mean, I liked the plan, Slayer, you know, up until the moment the explosion killed you.
They are rage, brutal, without mercy. But you will be worse. Rip and tear, until it is done.
That is so hype. I haven't mentioned it up until this point because I didn't want to expel all my lore pieces during the first half of the video, but King Novik has been introduced before this game. He was a minor character in Doom Eternal, appearing as a spirit when the Slayer goes on a quest to retrieve the Celestial Locator in a city called Exultia. You're gonna see all this happen when I cover Doom Eternal. Anyway, Novik has known the Slayer for a really damn long time, first encountering him when he was found outside the walls of Sentinel Prime. The Slayer was then taken to be judged in the Colosseum, which led to the Slayer earning admiration from the Sentinel people. Then after a while, demons invaded, obviously, and Novik led the charge to fight back. Novik was then given the blessings of the Khan Maker to research the demonic powers, and this led to the discovery of Argent Energy. Novik then noticed the Slayer's familiarity with the demons, and his brutality towards them, which deemed the Slayer worthy of becoming a Night Sentinel. Oh, and also, this story is the one that led to the Slayer coming to be known as the Doom Slayer. Also, is that the opening speech of Doom 2016 is spoken by King Novik. That's right, Novik has been part of this series since 2016, although, at the time, this was not confirmed to be him. So, now you know all about the King, you can understand even more how goddamn cool this game is, and also how goddamn cool the lore is, and how goddamn cool this scene is in the game. Hearing King Novik give another rip and tear speech is fucking awesome. Right, I think I've said enough about that. Shall we get back to the guy we all want to get back to? Where in the holy gates of heaven are we? Oh, this is not heaven. Yeah, I think we might be in purgatory. Slayer, I think you're in need of a bit of a manicure. Damn! Yeah, maybe a skin graft as well. You back the fuck up off me. I'll be taking that, thank you very much. Now I'm a full-on undead killing machine wreaking havoc on purgatory? How does ID keep one-upping themselves? This is insane. The game introduces the berserk mechanic straight after this cutscene, and it's awesome. It makes you super fast, and you do like double the damage, meaning you can zip around arenas like the Flash and hit enemies with the power of Superman. My only negative thing about this is that I wish they introduced it sooner into the game. I'm not sure what the decision was to only include it when there's only this chapter and 2 more left, but I'm not a game developer, so maybe there's some reason behind the Slayer only having Berserk Rage now. I mean, I guess dying would also make me very angry. But anyway, after climbing to a higher floor, we yank a lever, which just causes thousands of gallons of blood to flood the room. But luckily for us, you can swim in blood, so we do exactly that. And as we're swimming up, the suit tells us that there's a beacon emanating from the mortal plane, but currently we don't know what that means. I also think it's really cool that there's souls scattered around purgatory, and I like to imagine these are all the zombies the Slayer has killed. But why zombies? Well, demons don't have souls, for starters, but zombies would have once been human, or creatures with souls, corrupted by demonic energy, meaning that killing them would release said soul into the afterlife. That's what I assume anyway. I also want to quickly say that this place is so cool. I love the design. Everything feels so cold and empty even when you're inside a building. There's chains and hooks hanging from the ceiling, which is a nice touch. I'm a big fan. It's in Purgatory that the skulls are reintroduced. Instead of keys, you find coloured skulls which open coloured gates. Again, something that was introduced in Doom Eternal. So after ripping the heart out of a Komodo, we take an elevator up to another floor, which yes, does lead to more enemies. But it also leads to an awesome looking massive demon skull, and I just wanted to mention that. And we can use that red skull to open this door, leading to a giant underworld ferry. That is awesome. The Slayer walks through the line of souls until reaching the gate, which he clearly cannot pass through. Oh look, there's a ferryman here as well, that's sick.
Payment required.
Okay, let's get on the boat and sail back to the land of the living. Holy shit, that's an armory if I've ever seen one. The suit says it has scanned a vessel for the Slayer, and is routing him to the bridge of the ship. And holy shit, the ship looks incredible. I think the coolest thing about this game is the mashup of different worlds. We've been to Hell, we've now been to Purgatory, and we've been to a Lovecraft-inspired cosmic realm, as well as the medieval futuristic-inspired Argent de Nord. Yoink!
The captain has arrived. Give me the wheel and a map. Which way is due north? Ah, fuck it, let's just go this way. Oh look, a big glowing gate. Full steam ahead! Huh? What? Where am I? Why is it so quiet? Creepy Slenderman forest? Okay, I'll find the pages.
This area is really cool. I believe this is actually Limbo, not a further layer of Purgatory. Yes, there is a difference between the two. The real belief doesn't quite fit the game, but the belief is that Purgatory is a temporary state of purification after death, where souls are cleansed of sin before entering heaven, while Limbo is more of a permanent state, traditionally for those who did not have the opportunity to be baptized or to be saved before Jesus' arrival. Anyway, after trudging through Limbo for a while, the Mark of the Slayer appears in a big puddle of blood, and then when you walk up to it, you sink. The game then fades to the Dark Vale Forest, where a monk slices his hand open with a ritual dagger and drips the blood over the Slayer's helmet, incanting some spooky words alongside the action. Then it cuts to a wide shot, revealing 4 more monks circling a stone coffin inside a symbol drawn in the dirt, and then showing us that both Valen and his son Marek are here as well. The ritual seems to begin working as the wind picks up, and the Slayer's mark begins to glow alongside the base of the coffin. And if you can't tell by now, the monks are using dark magic to resurrect the Slayer, which, as bad as that is, does work, and he begins rising from the blood in the coffin. Yeah, as you can imagine, he's not too pleased by their methods. Valen steps through the symbol, breaking its protective seal, and hands the Slayer his helmet. I think it's safe to assume that as unhappy as the Slayer is about the methods in which he was resurrected, he understands that it was the only way, and the gesture of respect with Valen handing him his helmet is enough for him to put it aside for the cause of the people. So, he takes it and suits up to jump back into the fight. I absolutely love that cutscene. I think it's one of the best in the game. It gives the Slayer a lot of emotion, and you can really understand his thought process. After being confused and angry with the dark magic, but knowing the monks and Valen did the ritual because they needed the Slayer back in order to win the war. The Slayer knows how in danger they all are, especially now that Azrak has the heart. It's also a good showcase of Valen's loyalty to the Slayer, and how much he trusts and respects him to be able to step into the ritual circle and hand him his helmet back. Now, before I started this fight I'm currently in, Valen let us know that the outer defences were slaughtered and Novik's forces are surrounded. Not only that, but another soldier chimed in to let us know that the Creed has just surrendered. Let's go! So at this point in time, I am the only attacking force that the Sentinels have. But that's not an issue, I'm a one-man army. So let's clear out these buggers and save our people. And when all the soldiers are dead, the siege tower explodes for some reason. I'm not going to question it if it means more demon stuff is being destroyed. After ripping out the heart of a mage, that's the second tower destroyed. Ooh, blue key. And then after ripping the heart out of a Komodo, the third tower is destroyed. This means that the beautiful Joffrey can return to us. I named the dragon Joffrey before I found out its real name was Serat, or Seret, however you pronounce it. But I don't get on him just yet because I want to find all the secrets of the level, which ended up taking me about 15 minutes. And I did it, so now I can ride my epic cyber dragon once again. Obviously, this section of the mission is just the basic dragon gameplay. We fly a little, we shoot a little, and then we get to the Creed ship and can start our siege on the Makers.
I can't wait to get in there. You're all gonna die and I'm gonna use your blood as my skincare.
Coming in hot.
Ugh, let me in. What's up, pussies? I've been waiting to do this for a long time. You're all fucked. Tell me where the blobfish is. Oh, Blobby, are you in here?
I found you.
Finally! After many hours of gameplay, we finally get to have a boss fight with the Creed. Not only that, but it's a proper boss fight. Moves you've never seen, substantial to the story, and cathartic because he's been a massive pain in the ass. It's great, and it's like a first-person bullet hell, without being too insane. It's not too difficult, and I wish it was a little harder, but it's still so therapeutic to finally have a chance to fight him. And after getting his health bar all the way down,
I'm worth more to you alive than dead. I can bring you Prince Asric.
Ugh, why the fuck is the Creed made out of slugs? I honestly don't have a definitive answer. All I know is that the Maker casts are different in some way. No two are identical. So for some reason, the Khan decided to make the Creed a fucking slug boy. But focusing on the boss fight, for starters, I'm so glad that there was a second phase. A good boss always has a second phase. Not only that, but the second phase is better than the first, with an updated moveset that builds up on the previous one. Obviously, the design for the boss has changed, which makes for a different feel all by itself, and it does ramp up the difficulty. Not loads, but there's more to think about, so it's a little more challenging. It's also really cool to see his biological armor get stripped away the more you damage him. And with the final health bar out of the way,
Asric is keeping her alive on his ship. If she dies, his power would die with her. I can take you to her.
and there we have it. The Creed is dead, Thera is alive, and we know where she is. So let's gather our asses and make one final push towards Azrak. Speaking of Thera, here she is, alive and, well, not well, but not dead, and that's what matters. She's being kept in some dungeon of hanging spiked coffins on Azrak's ship. Speak of the devil, hello Azzy, still swagged out I see. I know I'm supposed to hate you, but I can't not respect your warship design. I mean, come on, that thing is epic. Oh god, everything went to shit when I died. Look at this place, it's a fucking trauma generator. Azrak has raised an army of titans, and I believe a lot of them have been raised from the dead. You could call this a shitty situation, but I like to call it an opportunity for another Atlan mission. I appreciate being able to see this war play out. I'm always a fan of big scale fights in any game, but it's even better seeing badass high-tech soldiers fight an onslaught of demons. I also want to point out this guy on the stretcher. Well, not this guy specifically, but the armour he's wearing is 100% the armour that the Marauders wore in Doom Eternal. And this finally gives us more context of this cutscene from that game.
You were never one of us. You were nothing but a usurper, a false idol. My eyes have been opened. Let me help you to see, Slayer.
So we already knew the Marauder knew the Slayer, and we could infer that the Marauders were Sentinels because of the Codex page in Eternal. But the cutscene never really had any direct backstory, and that's what makes it so awesome to be playing through this time period that led to that Marauder speech in Eternal, and getting to see the Marauders in person before their corruption and turning against the Slayer. But back to the Dark Ages, the Slayer's Atlan is being repaired for the battle ahead, but a soldier tells the king that it won't be repaired in time, just as the Royal Atlan refuels and comes back online. As the Titans charge the Atlan garage, and the Sentinels prepare their trench defences, both Atlans exit their hangar together. And is the king in his own Atlan? Oh no. The Slayer gets the Royal Atlan. Let's get this shit done, Novik. This baby has its own special move. Build up enough of your combo and you get to do this. As you can see, this does massive damage to the Titans, but that's about it for this section. You know how Atlan missions work.
Stand ready for my arrival, Azrak. You come down here right now and face me like a man. Oh, back for seconds, are ya? I killed you once, I can do it again.
The boss fight with the old one isn't too in-depth. Don't get me wrong, it's awesome. It's just not very complex with you being in an Atlan. Just press the left mouse button a lot, a couple spacebar clicks, some right mouse button clicks, and eventually you'll defeat Cthulhu for a second time.
Do you see me, Azrak? Where is your champion now? He is but a corpse on the ground while I am still standing, awaiting your eventual defeat. Now come down and face me.
I can never rule as king, so long as you are the only one they fear.
Now we're talking. I've been waiting for this since the moment I saw you in the trailer. Just you and me, Azrak. One of us has to die, and I have sequels to get to. So let's make this quick.
This boss fight is the best one in the game. Disregarding the impactfulness it has on the player and the story for a moment, the gameplay is so great. Azrak is rightfully the hardest boss in the game, and he's incredibly aggressive, almost always attacking, and barely giving you enough room to breathe, let alone get a shot off on him. He also has the most expanded moveset of the game, and the quickest attacks of all enemies. There's this one melee chain that he does that requires you to parry every single hit to stun him, and he swings like 5 times with barely any time between swings. And he does a truckload of damage with every hit. It's so challenging. It's incredible. But of course, from a story perspective, this is what everything has been leading to. The fight between the Slayer and Azrak. It was inevitable and has been the thing that I would assume most players have been excited for. And obviously in the context of the story, if the Slayer loses this fight, then it's all over. The demons would have nothing to fear. Azrak would be the king of hell, and the army of hell would take over the world. So there's a lot on the line.
How does it feel?
And yeah, he's powerful.
This is
like super powerful. But after potentially many tries, you will prevail. I mean, you had to have been expecting a second phase, right? I know I did. Man, this second phase is even better than the first. It's harder, he's even more aggressive, and just like the Creed, he expands his moveset. One of which is erecting these spike towers out from the ground. They damage you if you touch them, and of course, they get in your way. So you have to take the time to shatter them with the shield. But of course, when you're doing that, you have to be wary of Azrak, because if he's attacking you when your shield isn't in your hands, then you're gonna get bitch slapped. I just love this fight. It's so well thought out. And because it's in such a small arena, the devs implemented a good variety of moves that give you health and shield back. You constantly feel like you're on the brink of death, because you are. After some good shield bashes and a couple BFC shots, Azrak's second health bar will finally fizzle out of existence. You fucked up now, you hairless cat.
You killed my Joffrey! Your time has come, Azrak. Even the demons will forget your name.
Azrak's life signal is still active.
Fuck!
We hand Novik the heart and take a moment of silence for Seret. I'm gonna miss you, buddy. You were a great companion. Novik lets the heart find its way back to Thera, and she comes out of her slumber once it's back with her. And now she has full control over her power. The final chapter begins with the gang all huddled up, preparing for the final battle ahead. The Slayer shows up, presumably after patching his massive stab wound, and the Sentinels give him a proper warrior's greeting. He's finally become both feared and trusted by them. Thera charges up her powers and imbues her sword so she can use it to cut a doorway into hell. So with that, the Slayer leads the charge directly into the heart of demons, and the army follows. And Thera closes the portal behind them to make sure the demons stay on this side.
Lead Azrak to the Slayer.
Draw the horde to us.
That was awesome. Right, come on Slayer, we have unfinished business. Again with the amazing backdrops. Look at all these titans. I'm getting distracted. Lock in.
Out of my way, demon scum. I'm here to kill your prince. You're not getting away from me again, Azrak. You can't run from me now. You have zombies guarding the deck? Really? I'm fucking tweaking! Azrak! Hello, mate. Your time has come. Ho 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 ho! I get to kill both of you in one fight? Don't mind if I do.
Just like the last 4 boss fights, this fight is also amazing. Like I just said, you fight both the Witch and Azrak at once. The Witch is shielded most of the time, and will attack you alongside Azrak, who still has roughly the same moveset, and she only unshields herself when you damage Azrak enough, and then she will shield him instead of herself. So it's this great ping pong effect of having to jump between hurting Az and hurting the Witch. It's another really fun fight. But I know what you all want to see, so let's get to it. Well, she's gone. What do you have to say for yourself now?
I command the Horde. Kill me, and this war will never end.
You think I give a fuck about the war ending? All I want to do is kill demons.
Yeah, he's right, Azrak. You think the Slayer wants to stop fighting? No.
It's over, Azrak. Face your fate. You're finished. told you I'd do it. Azrak's head in my hands.
The game then cuts back to the Sentinel outpost, where the remaining soldiers gather around the royal podium. We're unsure how long it's been since the assault on Hell, but the Sentinels haven't heard from the Slayer since then. But Novik says that they're better with him on his own.
And you, young Sentinel, your father tells me great things about you.
Oh man, that's such a gut punch considering we know what happens in the future. I really hope the DLC dives further into Valen's story. Valen tells the king that the Maker's Church has disavowed all the actions taken by the Creed, and according to them, he was working alone, and they're gonna punish anyone involved. The king then tells Valen that they'll create their own Inquisition, quietly. Then Thera pops her head out and gives a speech to the Sentinels. She says it's time to look forward, and they need to consider who they now put their faith in.
And I say to you, there is no better place to turn to than ourselves. This is our home, and we will stand together to the last sentinel to defend it. As we have before, as our ancestors did, as we always will. And lastly, I'll ask you to join me now in paying our respect to him. The people of Argent D'Nur rest easier now, knowing he is out there.
Targets identified. Slayer, prepped for launch.
Holy mother of God, what a game! I struggle finding the words to explain how much I loved that, so I'm gonna wing it a little bit. I fucking loved that. I did play and really enjoyed both Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. 2016 was my generation of Doom. I grew up knowing of Doom, of course, because I've been part of the video game scene since I was like 8 or 9. And my first experience with Doom was the mobile version of, I think, the original game. It could have been any of them. I used to play that on my mum's phone all the time, but I can't remember much about it. I got super into Doom around 2020, 2021-ish, when I played through Doom 2016 for the first time. That sparked my super fan enjoyment of the whole franchise. After I played 2016 and religiously watched Jacksepticeye's series on Eternal, I was like, right, that's it. I have to play the shit out of them. I have to learn the lore, and I have to just become the Doomslayer. And so Dark Ages was the first time where I was like, holy shit, we're getting another Doom game. And I was excited for months and months to play it. I bought the collector's edition, I played it day one, and I finished it within the first couple days it came out. I say all this because I want to preface that yes, I am a huge fan of the games, and I do love researching the lore, but I'm by no means an expert. To an outsider, I could yap for ages about Doom and have them think I know everything. But in the Doom community, they would tell me that I know nothing, because the superfans that know everything. I did a boatload of research for this video, both to jog my own memory and explain things as best I could that I was unaware of. I also didn't want to dive too deep into the OG Doom games because I knew that 2016 was a soft reboot, and with how beloved they are, I didn't want to get ripped apart by superfans for getting anything wrong with the OGs. Right, but the Dark Ages. How sick is it? It's super sick. I loved it. It's my favourite Doom game so far. I much prefer the tanky version of the gameplay in this one. It's still very fast paced, but you feel like a proper unstoppable killing machine. Whereas Doom Eternal was super fast, and you would just try zipping around the arenas, which was really awesome and I loved that as well, but I just prefer the weighty feel of this game. The weapon variety is also really great for the most part. I like that each weapon has a second version, but as I mentioned before, the 2 energy weapons just feel a little redundant, but overall, each and every weapon is good in their own way. And I can imagine a lot of people can play the game differently depending on how they use them. The level design is great as well. Every single level in this game is unique, but just as good as each other. Even the simple first level is great. The art direction is just overall so beautiful. I love the verticality each level has, and some of the puzzles just don't hold your hand at all. Which, yeah, I mean, can be a little frustrating at times, but it's just because they blend into the scenery so well. Speaking of the puzzles, I was a fan of most of them. They're difficult enough to provide a challenge, but simple enough to figure out even if you're not great at puzzles. Even the ones that piss you off are really simple once you figure out what you need to do. The pathways into secret areas are always in the general vicinity, but there'll be some underwater cave or a hole in the ground that takes you 10 minutes to find. But overall, the puzzles are good. And of course, you don't have to do any of them if you don't want to. I also thought the story was pretty good. I didn't feel like there was a huge amount of explanation for certain things. The other 2 I think just had more info about everything and explained everything in further detail. But the story was still easy to follow. Obviously, if you know more about the lore, then there's going to be both more stuff that makes sense and less stuff that makes sense. But overall, I think it was great. It helps make sense of the things that happened with the Sentinels in both 2016 and Eternal. I think of this game as a context giver game. It's an incredible entry standalone, but it's a much better experience when you're in need of context and want the gaps in your brain filled. Now, I will say a little bit on the Atlan and Dragon missions. They are great, they're super fun. I've seen a lot of people say that they don't like them, or that they're boring. I wouldn't completely disagree, but I will say, in comparison to the regular gameplay, they're just not as good. There's barely any depth to those missions from a gameplay perspective, and usually that would suck. But because they're so short, it's really a non-issue. And you can't disagree that they're also really badass. Either beating the shit out of titans, or flying a cyber dragon and shooting miniguns. Like, what? That's so cool. So overall, Doom the Dark Ages is a great game, and a great Doom game. It's incredibly badass, obviously. You just feel like the ultimate badass. If I was to give it a rating, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. There's bits of it that aren't perfect, but it's just so goddamn fun. Well, holy shit. That was Doom the Dark Ages. I can't lie, I went into this game really biased because I love Dark Ages and the medieval setting for anything. It doesn't matter the game or the genre, because in my eyes, all of it rocks. But I mean, come on. The Dark Ages plus the motherfucking Doomslayer? I mean, how can you not be in love with that? My man's been genociding demons since the 5th century. Well, you know, loads of times before that, but still. Just like every game I've covered so far, you definitely need to pick this one up and play it if you have any interest at all. But for now, I will bid you adieu, and I will see you all in the next one.